This one simple concept has been life-changing for me when it comes to building passive income. And when I discovered it, I had only earned my first $1,000 online, and I was trying to figure out how to grow my wealth. I didn't know much about investing or how the ultra-wealthy built their fortunes, but after learning about this, everything changed. The person who shared this idea with me called it the ultimate wealth hack. And here's the twist. It's not working harder, and it's not saving more. It's using OPM. In this video, I'll show you why Robert Kiyosaki calls using your own money lazy and how the wealthy build empires by leveraging other people's resources. Now, you may not be familiar with Robert Kiyosaki, but he's a well-known financial educator and author of the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He's made quite a name for himself over the years, and some people really love him and his teachings, while others don't agree with him at all. But one thing that we can agree upon is this statement from Robert: if you buy things you don't need with money, you don't have to impress people you don't like. Then you will work your whole life to pay for it. We don't have to agree with everything he says, but there are some interesting points that can help us become financially smarter. And the one I'm going to share today is one of them. Let's get into it. So Robert Kiyosaki claims that most people spend their entire lives chasing money, which makes sense. When you look around you, that's exactly what you see. People are always looking for a way to make more money, whether it's a higher-paying job or side hustles to bring in extra cash. However, according to him, the truly wealthy don't chase money. Instead, they focus on controlling money, both their own and other people's money. And this is where the term OPM comes into play. As Robert explains, the rich have mastered the art of using other people's money, while most people stick to using their own money. And this is where the problem lies. Kiyosaki says that using only your own money is a form of laziness. To illustrate this, imagine you diligently save $10,000. That becomes your limit. You can only invest or spend that amount because you don't have any more money available. On the other hand, the rich take that same $10,000 and use it as leverage to control $50,000, $100,000, or even more dollars in assets. So the rich are always moving faster and operating on a bigger scale compared to those who only rely on their own savings. So what exactly does OPM mean? Well, as the name suggests, OPM stands for other people's money. But it's not just about borrowing money from the bank. It's about tapping into any external resource, whether it's money, skills, connections, or even time from other people or entities like banks, investors, or business partners. For instance, when you go to a bank and ask for a mortgage to buy a house, you're using other people's money. The bank lends you the majority of the funds, allowing you to purchase the house, and you pay back the loan over time. Similarly, if you have a great business idea and seek funding from investors in exchange for a percentage of your company, you're again utilizing other people's money. Here are some of the different ways that other people's money can be used. Bank financing, which is getting loans from banks to fund various activities. Investor funding, such as securing investments from venture capitalists or angel investors. Business partnerships, where you collaborate with someone who brings in additional resources. Customer prepayments, where you receive payments in advance for products or services that you will deliver later, and even government grants and subsidies. The key idea behind OPM is that it enables you to access more resources than you would have on your own, giving you a greater ability to generate income and build wealth. By leveraging other people's money, you can expand your reach and pursue opportunities that would otherwise be out of reach with just your personal funds. There are countless examples of successful individuals who have utilized OPM to achieve extraordinary results. Similarly, consider a young entrepreneur who wants to start a business. They may not have enough money to hire employees, purchase equipment, or fund marketing efforts solely using their own funds. In this scenario, the entrepreneur seeks investors who are willing to provide financial backing in exchange for a stake in the company. By securing investments, the entrepreneur gains access to OPM, enabling them to scale their business, create jobs, and potentially generate substantial returns for both themselves and their investors. Another example is in the world of e-commerce. An online store owner wants to expand their product line but needs additional funds to purchase inventory. Rather than waiting until they accumulate enough personal savings to cover the expenses, they opt to utilize OPM by offering pre-orders to their customers. Customers place orders and pay in advance for the new products, providing the necessary funds for the business to purchase inventory and fulfill the orders. This way, the business owner doesn't have to pay out of pocket, reducing their financial risk and enabling them to offer a wider range of products to their customers. As you can see, OPM is a widely used concept across various industries and sectors, providing individuals and businesses with the opportunity to leverage external resources to achieve their goals. Before we move on, I want to say something important. There are some downsides to using other people's money. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. That's why I want to share 3 rules to follow when using OPM. The first rule: only use borrowed money for things that produce income. If it's not putting cash in your pocket, think twice. The second rule: have a clear plan for repayment that doesn't depend on your salary. Don't rely on getting a promotion or a raise to pay off your debts. Instead, focus on increasing your income from multiple sources that are outside of your regular job. And the third rule: start small and prove that your system works before scaling up. Don't go all in immediately. Test the waters, learn from your mistakes, and gradually expand as you gain experience and confidence. By following these rules, you can minimize the risks associated with OPM and increase your chances of success. Now let's get back to the video. As we've discussed, the wealthy understand the power of leveraging OPM to build their wealth. But it goes beyond just financial gain. It's a mindset shift that allows them to think bigger, take calculated risks, and create lasting value. By thinking like an owner rather than a worker, they can tap into a world of possibilities that are often out of reach for those who rely solely on their own resources. On the other hand, the poor and middle class tend to fall into the trap of being a worker, constantly trading their time for money and living paycheck to paycheck. They often lack the resources, connections, and financial freedom to take advantage of the same opportunities available to the wealthy. So the big question is, how do you make this mindset shift from a worker to an owner? It all begins with a change in perspective. Instead of focusing on what you can't afford, start thinking about how you can use OPM to make it happen. Explore different avenues, seek out experts, and don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone. One great way to start using OPM is by taking advantage of the opportunities right in front of you. Think about your everyday life and the problems you encounter. Can you develop a product or service that solves those problems? Can you find a way to improve existing solutions or create something entirely new? The possibilities are endless. But remember, the path to success is not always easy. It requires dedication, perseverance, and a willingness to learn from your mistakes. As Robert Kiyosaki often says, you don't have to be smarter than the average person. You just have to be willing to do things that the average person is not willing to do. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to subscribe and leave a like, as it really helps us grow. And if you're still hungry for more, we hand-picked this video for you to watch next. See you tomorrow.